Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alexander Holubov and you are watching United Country Marathon on TV channel First Ukraine. You can see our website address www.firstui.com on your screen, and as well our frequencies are there. So we are talking today about the federalization, about the recent events in the eastern and southern Ukraine, and I'm glad to introduce my guests. It's Yaroslav Kучер, head of regional youth organization of Батьківщина political party, Victoria Zabian, political analyst, and Volodymyr Karagiaur, journalist of the Spilno TV channel. Volodymyr, the first question, I just like to address it to you. You witnessed the recent events. You was in the eastern and southern Ukraine in recent days, and I just want to hear about your impressions from the people there, where the crisis is really dangerous and where the situation is pretty calm. Could you tell us some words about it?
First, to understand, for now, crisis is the most dangerous for these separatists who are now sitting in a security building in Lugansk or in state administration in Donetsk. For them, it's really very dangerous because they don't have support of local people at all. They're coming, a lot of people, but they come just to see what is going on and what is happening. They don't have a real support from people, from activists, and so on. On the other side, great problem that there is just only in southern regions like Mykolaiv or Kherson, there are meetings for support for united Ukraine. And talking with the people in Donetsk, for example, or Lugansk, they started to thinking about what is happening. Because its country is not stable, not stable, and they are thinking, starting to think, maybe to think about Russia or think about Federation. But I think it's just such very simple things, and the biggest problem is now will be in Lugansk because these people, separatists, they understand it because they understand that they don't have already any ways where to go.
So you can say that they do not have the massive support of the local people, despite this Russian propaganda about massive uprisings and
when talking, especially when talking about southern cities, for example, Mykolaiv or Kherson or Odessa, they don't have any support there at all. And there you can be beat like Tsarev, be beaten for this
stripes,
for the stripes and so on. And on the other side, on Maidans never were so aggressive. But now, because pro-Russian people were very aggressive, they have from other side the same. They opened this box of Pandora for this violation.
So, Victoria, as a political analyst, it was hard to imagine such pro-Ukrainian mass rallies in southern Ukraine, in Odessa, in Mykolaiv, in Kherson, even some weeks ago. What did happen to Ukrainians there that they have changed their mind and took all these Ukrainian flags, Ukrainian stripes, and go to the street to support the united country?
I think that somehow it depends on the different thinking, really, of people in the south and in the east of Ukraine. They understand that there is no necessity of federalization. It's not sustained anyway. And people in the south are not under that informational blockade, this storm that provided by the Russian propaganda. So I think that informational war and this part of this war is the most important today.
So you claim that this in southern Ukraine the Russian propaganda is not so effective as it is in eastern Ukraine. Yes.
If we are not talking about the Crimea,
yeah, of course,
yeah.
So Yaroslav, I think that the very important factor is the position of the young people. You, as a representative of this youth organization of one of the most powerful Ukrainian political parties, how do you see the situation? Does the youth in eastern Ukraine has the different views on the political future of the country comparing with elder people? For example, we can claim that elder people, some that are get pensions from the country, they are in the majority pro-Russian. But do the Donbass youth or Luhansk region youth more pro-Ukrainian? Is it possible to say such thing?
I think yes, because a lot of young people want to live, for example, in Europe. They was in Kiev, and they see how their life depends in Kiev or in Donetsk or in Lugansk. Because Kiev is a much better city and had more opportunities. We try to work with the people. We try to work with the youth in South Ukrainian regions, and we hope that most power will be of that young people there.
So, Vladimir, and could you support this thesis about younger people that are more pro-Ukrainian than elder in the eastern Ukraine, or it's a little bit of illusion?
Yes, I support this. On the last year, I told about Crimea that Crimea wasn't Ukrainian, it wasn't Russian, it was Soviet region, and eastern regions they are. Elder people, they are mostly supporting Soviet Union or people who has any good earnings. They support Ukraine or even pro-European line.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And young people, we made such interesting project in December on Maidan when we meet. Two groups of people, one from Rivnensk region, another from Lugansk region, young, successful people, something like 30, somewhere the deputies of local parliament, and so on. When they start to talking without rhetoric of Maidan or anti-Maidan, just talking about their interests, they were the same. And in Lugansk, of these young people, their real what they want, how to live, it's closer to European course. It's real, and they start to understand this when they talk with these people. And it wasn't a problem that one speaking Ukrainian and another Russian. It wasn't a problem. And these people from Lugansk, they started to think really they want to be a part of this Russian world, so-called.
But if there are so many progressive people in Luhansk region, in Donetsk region, who are these guys in the building of the security service in Luhansk?
They're not from Lugansk. They're not local. I have before 2 days I were in Lugansk and start to stream and start to broadcast and then take some photos and so on. To become one person, maybe 50-55 years old man. And he told me, what are you doing? Why are you filming here? I told, because I'm a journalist. Where are you from? I told that I'm from Odessa. I really have my registration in Odessa, but show him my passport. But I was born in Chernivtsi. And he told me not very good words to go to Odessa through Chernivtsi and so on. But till we were waiting to bring my passport to driver, he told me that he's not local too. And especially in Donetsk, I heard a lot of, I saw a lot of young boys with balaclavas, with masks, who were talking. Before 7 years, I lived in Donetsk for 3 months, and I have such orientation in accents of local they wasn't from this region. They wasn't from Eastern Ukraine. I'm sure in this. Maybe...
But from which region then?
I don't know. Maybe from a region from small cities, maybe from Russia. I'm sure some of them were Russian citizens. I'm sure in this because even on the border with Ukraine, there is no such accent on the other side, on the Russian side. So I think maybe a third of the separatists are local, not more.
Not more. But what did they want? What do they want? And so what are they claims?
The rhetoric first that if this can do Maidan, why not we can do? And maybe they can do what were done on Maidan with fire, with meeting and so on.
But it's about means. But what do they want? So what are their goals?
One, the most famous, the most important difference between Maidan and these people. Maidan were staying for changes in the system and for Ukraine. Really for Ukraine. Nobody were talking to go anywhere or even after in December already we're talking just about Ukraine, even not talking about Europe and so on. And these people want federalization. Like minimum, like maximum, they want to cut the country.
But so only cut the country, or some people say they want federalization in Russian language. Do they have any concrete?
I
didn't hear them.
I was trying to find what they really want, like thesis, but. Mostly these theses are going with shed and so on, such words. You can't, it's not, and the maybe very important difference. On Maidan, at least a certain part of people were intelligent. Yeah, very. And here I didn't see any people who can think like philosophers and so on. And this is very big difference because here lumpens, and here was really progressive thinking people of Ukraine.
So okay, Yaroslav, you was on Maidan. You were one of the people who was on the stage, and you were one of those who organized this event and this phenomena. So is it true? Is it possible to compare these two Maidans? They really try to make everything as Maidan is, or to just like repeating all these tires, all this.
I think it's like the same if you buy, for example, some brand maybe shoes or some brand T-shirts. It's like a brand. Yeah. But what they can try to make in Donetsk or Lugansk, I think it's a fake, and it can't call Maidan. It's something going strange in the cities, and the main goal is that they have no support of the citizens in that city. When we in Kiev had the problems, for example, with water, with it, we can call for citizens and ask them to bring us something for what we needed that day. And I think if the people in Donetsk or Lugansk try to ask citizens about something, I think they can get nothing from them, because they have no support of the citizens. That's my idea. So,
and what about weapons? Lots of people, especially in former government, they claim that opposition activists at Maidan in Kiev, they obtained the weapons, guns, etc. That's why people in eastern Ukraine could do the same and have all these Kalashnikovs and other things that can kill people.
I know about that story, and I also know that people that have guns, for example, and weapons now, most of them have registered ammunition and weapons. And when we had problems with the police in Kiev, with the Berkut, they leave Kiev, and activists can find the weapons, whatever they in the buses, in the police offices. So I think it's not a problem. It's not the main idea to have a weapon. We get a weapon later, after all the problems on Maidan, after the police attacks, after all of that, and we start Maidan without any ammunition and without any weapons.
So, Victoria, now I need this expert opinion. We know now that separatists in Luhansk and Donetsk do not have this popular support. They have weapons, and probably they do not have Russian support now. As we see, we do not see any Russian troops that are eager to invade to defend them. Do you really believe that these guys have any chance to succeed? So can they have all of their claims about this Russian language, about federalization, or about this partition from the Ukraine be fulfilled? Or it's just an illusion and we will see them in jail in some days?
You know, in my point of view, I think that we can watch the scenario that was written not in our country. And of course, according to the realistic approach to international relations, that federalization is that minimum that Russia wants to get after the successful occupation of Crimea. We saw that they couldn't get these regions so easier as it was with Crimea, and you know that federalization itself is not dangerous for us. It is dangerous that people who are demonstrating this position, they don't respect the territorial unity of our state. They don't respect the constitution, which doesn't allow the referendum, for example, on a regional level. They don't respect the peaceful way of decision our problems. And, but we have to admit that people who really support these actions, they exist. Mm-hmm. And it is very significant to make this conversation with them. People happened without their leaders today, and no one from our politicians went to the east of Ukraine and make the dialogue between the power, authority, and the people.
So, Yaroslav, you have the remark, I think.
I want to add a little bit about that. Today, Ukrainian Prime Minister Yatsenyuk was in Donetsk, and we know about that. And I want.
But as I know, the Minister of Economics.
They all now going there, but they needed to do this after the win of Maidan. They needed to do this at the end of February, not now when it hot there. And I'm not agree with you about the federation. Maybe people want federation, but now, and this your problem to explain to people, political parties, that they don't need federation because now local power will have more powerful will be. Central power now giving more power to local parliaments and so on. And this is to understand from this people who want federalization can take their ideas what they want just only without federalization, just only with
decentralization.
Decentralization, yeah.
So, dear friends, today I have read in news that Arsenij Yatsenyuk, our Prime Minister, has told local elites, local businessmen, that he finds the local referenda just a good idea, and he will try to persuade our parliament to have a bill that will allow the local referenda. And it is one of the claims of the separatists. They want to have a chance to make some local referendums on the question of language, etc., etc. Does it mean that we are going to the peaceful resolution of this conflict, or I'm too optimistic, or we will see the clashes in the future as well?
this is very quick steps, and things, it just populist things, just for now. It's not taking really big problems in the
reality.
Yeah, in reality. It's just for these people, they to be not
calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Yaroslav, and do you believe is it normal to have this local referenda, or is it a way to this separatism?
Firstly, we need to understand that it's just words for today, and about local referendum, we need to know what the bill will be in the parliament, about what the main question will be on that referendum. As for me, I think the main idea is who is ruling really in the, for example, in the oblast, in the regions. For example, we can see that in Dnipropetrovsk, which is also near Donetsk, near Lugansk, it is a totally pro-Ukrainian region. We can find a lot of Ukrainian flags on maybe on the streets, on 1 meter square, you can find 3 Ukrainian flags. And it is important that governor of Dnipropetrovsk, he is a very famous businessman, and he made all things to do to show people that it's safe to be in Dnipropetrovsk. And for example, if we wait for troops from Russia, we can fight with them, and we have everything to do it.
Mm-hmm. So, Victoria,
Yeah.
I think Yaroslav has started a very interesting and important topic for the question of separatism. We have the Donetsk region, where Akhmetov is a very influential person. He is the most important local oligarch. And in Dnipropetrovsk, we have another important oligarch. Yaroslav has mentioned about him. What do you think? Is it about oligarchs and their games only, or is it really about popular opinion when we are talking about these different regions? So, is it bound only with the will of oligarchs, or really in Donetsk and Luhansk some people want federalization, and in Dnipropetrovsk it's not interesting at all, for example?
We heard that point that oligarchs someday will save Ukrainian unity, and I think that these figures are just representatives of the willing of the people. They have only such representatives because the leaders of those people in the east of Ukraine, they got away, and people stayed abandoned by everybody, and their beliefs were admitted as unmistakable, I think that it is a way how to find a compromise between the society and the authority, and really I don't think that progressive people need a federalization because it's not profitable. As a citizen of Lugansk region, in the past, I know that the problem of language is the most manipulated, and this problem is not really exist. And in economic sense, we can see that, for example, Lugansk region is more subsidized, and it's not. I think it is not a way to solve their economic problems, without the center, for example. So I think that it's стихійне natural situation, yeah.
Okay, Volodymyr.
I just want to tell some words. See, now it's playing the game, and on Maidan, such oligarchs like Akhmetov or Kolomoisky were players on this game, and now they become the objects in this game because game went on such level where one oligarch can't influence on situation, and now they are
geopolitics, or are you talking about this mass movements in Ukraine?
I'm talking about this mass movements, almost on movement on Maidan. They were just players on this map.
Yeah.
And now they become hostages of this situation between two countries. So they the success depends of relation now of Russia to Ukraine. See, Kolomoisky lost his private bank in Russia, and now in Crimea, for example, there is a great such advertisement from Russia, from Russian propaganda machine, that private bank just threw up Crimean people, but the real reason was because this do Russia. They close all this. And another one about progressive people, about federalization. Giving more power to local elites will give chance with normal law, if Parliament will take normal law to organize not a referendum, just to take decisions on in their local parliaments for local languages, for example, for local ethnic groups, for representation of local ethnic groups in local administrators and so on.
So, and what do the people in Donetsk and Luhansk region think about Akhmetov and his deeds and words that are sometimes not so corresponding to each other?
Like I remember before in Donetsk, for example, it was in such way. Akhmetov, it's our oligarch. We are happy.
Him, yeah.
We are happy to that he is here. Now, people who support separatists, they are talking about him like all other oligarchs. The most hateless oligarch really is now Poroshenko, because they're all talking about sweet oligarch and so on. But Kolomoisky, Akhmetov, Taruta, they all now go on one line of all oligarchs. People don't support, they don't believe. So there is no such happy relation to Akhmetov.
Okay, Yaroslav.
I want to just disagree with you in one opinion about Kolomoisky. Maybe we can speak about that he's a very famous and popular person in Ukraine, and he got a lot of money. But he is also the citizen of Ukraine, and he had a position about unity of Ukraine, and he always talk about that. And I think when you say that when there was some situation on Maidan, that was like a game of oligarchs. I want to say that I disagree in that case, because it was not a game. It was a people protest, and people want to speak about Ukraine, want to speak about their future, and about what they should do in that country.
But Yaroslav, was that their goal to make the oligarchs the governors of the regions? It's just interesting for me. So, really, we do. These Ukrainians who were on Maidan, was it their goal to make Kolomoisky the governor of Dnipropetrovsk Oblast?
Of course not, but I think, for example, now, in that case, we should define a person who can rule the oblast, the region of Ukraine, and he do his work very well. Yeah. We see that, and for example, a few months ago when it was Maidan, we think about what is in Dnipropetrovsk. We find there titushkas, we find them a lot of criminal elements there, but now it's totally safe, it's totally pro-Ukrainian. We know that some of the people want to have a pro-Russian oriented position. They can say about that position in special areas in Dnipropetrovsk, and it's totally safe. And I think it's a goal for today. Yeah. After election, we can think about another maybe candidates or something like that. But now I think it's a very good decision about Kolomoisky to work as a governor.
I think it's a very good decision to make oligarchs local rulers. We're talking about Dnipropetrovsk, we're talking about Donetsk, but was that Akhmetov don't support this idea, but for example in Odessa the same oligarch Nemirovsky, smaller but oligarch again. But this is a short-time step, because in these people, they will defend their own success. So they will do everything to stabilize the region. To answer you about Maidan, when I was talking, I was not talking that we are playing with Maidan. They were players on this map, this game like Maidan.
Also.
Yeah, I know information that, for example, Lovechkin were supporting very good Maidan. The same about Kolomoisky, and sometimes different steps. They were trying. First month on December, oligarchs were waiting what Maidan will do. They were waiting what position to take then.
So, of course, we always can say that oligarchs supported or was against, but they have all their own means, etc. But, Victoria, okay, it's a short-term time move, but after, let's imagine we will succeed in fighting separatism, everything is okay, we got the IMF funds, we got the good presidential elections, they were accepted by the whole world, and then oligarchs are on the place. Is it still possible to say them, thank you very much guys, and bye? Or they will fight for this position till the end?
Of course, no. I think that now people mostly satisfied with Kolomoisky because of some psychological moments. For example, it's better for them to be ruled
by the
transparently, than from some backstage. And I think that the problem of circulation and the transformation of elites will be in Ukraine for a long time. And now we have to realize that for today we have no new elites. We have a new elites formed by the old elites, but we have no alternative variants,
Yaroslav,
to be honest.
Do you see the possible changes for Ukrainian elites? So it will be the step-by-step process, for example, you as the representative of young Батьківщина, the established Ukrainian party will try to engage as more young people as possible, or there will be guys, for example, in other new parties that will try to use this dissatisfaction with the old elites and will establish their rule. For example, we have young parties like Democratic Alliance, we have this radical movements like Pravый sector or Right sector. What will win? This older established parties like Батьківщина or this new movements that arose during the Euromaidan? Yaroslav.
I can say about our organization, as we are the biggest YES organization, political YES organization in Ukraine. We hope, and I think we can see it on elections, that Батьківщина YES have special conditions and can take part in the election as a part of a big political party Батьківщина. So guys who is ruling on the Батьківщина, they told us that we have a special, we can take part in election in all levels, from the local deputies till the deputies to Верховна Рада. So I think we can, after election, we can see a lot of new faces.
Okay.
I have a question to you. You are the biggest youth political organization. You were before Maidan or became now when? Because I think the biggest was of young regions.
Before Maidan.
Oh, okay.
We have statistics about it.
I want to explain such things. We don't have now elites new. We have transformation elites in process. And we will have new elite. And here, these two people are a part of this new elites who will be maybe in 5 or 10 years. Now it's starting its formation on Maidan. But we maybe, we could have these elites if political parties won't take the lead on Maidan on 30th of November. There on students, Maidan started to formate new elite, young elite of children of independence. But came political parties, sit over, and all the citizens, all...
So, but do you I see your point, but do you really believe it was possible, it's just a question, of course, it was possible to establish all this structure of Euromaidan? It was a lot of structures. It's about stage, it's about support with food, with water, with electricity, with media coverage. Just let me see. Was it possible to support all these movements just without political parties, without established?
Yes, I'm sure. A political party. To understand, during January, during 2 weeks before I will go in jail, at least 20 or 25 different organizations, different people from over Ukraine, over the world, were asking me where to give money to real support to Maidan, but not to political parties. I'm sure I was, from 22nd of November, was on Maidan. And I were staying every day under the stella, streaming or something, doing. And I'm sure there was a lot of people, not young, not less than 30 years, people who are businessmen of middle level, who were supporting, but they just were, they have hope not to speak, not to organize with political parties. They were trying to make
I'm sorry, but I just want to add, as everybody knows, you told us that Ljovichkin was supporting one of this, the former head of presidential administration. He was supporting the Euromaidan. But lots of journalists, lots of political experts have told that it was his technology just to move the influence away from the political parties, to claim that this Euromaidan was not political. And of course, I'm not saying that it was in reality, but nevertheless, is it possible that this idea was implemented just with the goal of making this Maidan not so potent, just to lose the support of political organizations or civil society?
The problem of 30 November was that political parties killed, maybe for 5 or 10 years, civil society of Ukraine, of these children of independence. They are starting to burn this civil society. And political parties, the problem not in political parties, in form of our political parties, they are of leadership type. All our political parties mostly are made for one person. Sorry, but Yulia Tymoshenko, Udar for Klitschko, maybe Svoboda not so, but Tegnebok is the real leader, and he will be party of region was for Yanukovych. This is old type of parties. We need a new one, maybe like young, like Democracy Alliance. For another type of political parties. And this civil society needed to give this new type of political parties. I'm not talking that this civil society will stay without politics. It can't. But during 10 days, they couldn't find new leaders or new forms of political parties. I'm talking about this.
Do you believe it's possible, or we will have this old parties, or we will have this new kind of parties Volodymyr is talking about?
Civil society, in my point of view, have to cooperate with the political parties, because when the students the first time were beaten, people understood that no one bring the social responsibility for them. And no one can help them, excepting the political parties. And once again, we saw how the Euromaidan needed the leader to provide the dialogue.
But nevertheless, lots of people claim that 3 leaders of political parties, of Svoboda, of Bloc Yulia Tymoshenko, this Yulia Tymoshenko bloc, and Udar, or Vitaly Klitschko's Udar, they were not able to provide such leadership. They were we always heard this chants about strong leadership that was not represented on your
Maybe they were not able, but anyway, our society and our people need leaders. It's a style of politics, you know, in our country.
Yaroslav, do you agree with such need for leadership, or do we need to have more democratic?
As for me, of course, maybe we need a leader, but I can tell you that civil society should grow to a politics and take part in the political life. And when you told us about that, a lot of people was supporting Euromaidan at the Stella, Yos Maidan with the people, with money. Money is not the most important thing in that case, and we should know about that. And I know about a lot of guys that who started by the Stella, and they are now in the politics and will take part in the elections. And for example, for us, we are like a political party and youth movement of political party. We have a lot of connection in Europe, in European Union, in European Parliament. We asked our guys, our friends who work like youth parties for political parties in the European Parliament to speak with their deputies to ask them to implement sanctions. We can call them, we meet them. I was in Brussels, I organized Euromaidan in Amsterdam. So we have a connections, you know, and the most important thing, I think, is not money, it's the connections.
So,
this will give a lot of connection. I'm telling you, I'm sure in this because when people with whom I'm working on Maidan, and for example, I meet somebody from the same Amsterdam or from Germany, and then they asking about to tell what is this person, and he's sitting near me. Can work with him or not? Connection. It's Maidan give a lot of connection, very great connection, but. I want to tell another thing. When we staying on Maidan for changing of system, these political parties, like Udar, like But, they are part of system. And if you want to go really in another type of society, you need to transform you inside. When Yulia Tymoshenko came on Maidan, we all saw what was support. My спільне бачення, my спільне TV, by your political party were at least 2 times you were trying to take out us of Maidan because we were not supporting Yulia's picture on Yolka. To understand, we're talking at this time with people from eastern regions. They could come a lot of more people if you were taking Yulia from Yolka or...
I'm sorry, I see your point, but don't discuss this local conflict. I see that really probably Yulia could...
Okay, to finish, changing of system of parties. And for example, such people like famous corruptioner who are now deputies from your party, from another party, need to go through illustration and go out of this system.
And to give a free place for another people.
Just Vladimir, I totally agree with you about this point about illustration. It's really important. But let me tell you about one example.
Yeah.
We know about Mr. Kaskev. He was one of the leader of this 2004 Orange Revolution movement called Para. It was totally new. It looked, at least, brand new. He was not a politician with an established career. He was a new face. And some years went on.
But he was with great experience of meetings. To remember, Kaskev were on 1990 on the revolution on Granite. So he had a very great experience about such things like Maidan.
Yeah, but after this experience, he came to this state agency of investigations and stole so much money. we have to say this really.
You want people who now staying on like deputies, but they to stay. I'm sure we cannot through all the deputies. They need goes through illustration.
But no, I really think.
I'm sure that, for example, Yulia Tymoshenko, Turchinov, Yatsenyuk, Technobok, they need to go on to become a pensioner pensioner. They now maybe really. What need to do this parliament, this government? They need to make not very popular changes and to become politically to die and to go to write I don't know books about the political lives and this to give chance of new wave in 5. I'm not talking now because reforms and, for example, association with Europe will take a lot of time, and they forgetting to tell people that it will be hard next 5 years. It's the most important rhetoric with Eastern regions. They want already to live good in Russia. Told them when Russia is telling to them that in Europe they don't need, it will be hard. Yeah, it really will be hard. But try to explain to people that if we want to, in 5 or 10 years, to live good, your children, your nephews, and so on, to live good, we need to go through these steps. Such countries like Poland, like Hungary, they were very hard during 90s before they become normal countries. We need to talk always not to making populist things. We need to explain. And about this, I think talking Yatsenyuk when he told him that now he going like politically died in this credential of governor.
So, thank you, William. Just let us go further. You just want to add something?
Yes, I have a short point about it. I think that the situation with the young people in our politics is very controversial for today. All of us saw how Euromaidan was dissatisfied with the new government. Firstly, because they were all professionals who already was in politics. Secondly, they were dissatisfied with the young persons, for example, like Mr. Bulatov, that he is not a professional in that sphere and he shouldn't be on this position. Yeah. So what society want now, no one knows, and we can see only that everyone in our country are experts in politics, and our society is very politicized. It's a part of our culture already.
So I just want to ask your short point, just a little small opinion, because we are already at the end of our show. You told about new faces. You have told us that everybody is dissatisfied. You just told that the new faces can come to us through your party and through your youth organization as well. But I really believe that it's not about new faces. It's much more about new ways of communicating and interacting between the old faces as well. Just because, so okay, we can throw away Mr. Yatsenyuk, Mr. Turchinov, Mr. Yetechnibok, Mr. Klitschko, and other guys that we do not like. But what will remain? Nevertheless, it's of course important just to eliminate corruption, eliminate etc., etc. So, what is your recipe in 3 short steps, if there are any? Can we illustrate, for example, illustration, that, etc.? What do you think?
First, illustration. Then delegation, more power to local elites, to local, and ending the usurpation of local elections of political parties. Civil organization need to be an a subject of the election process on the local regions. We're talking because now it's usurpation of political parties of local, and in local parliaments going people not thinking about the local problems and thinking about to go then upper in parliament. And it's the second. And the third one is the part of second is to making a law about languages, about ethnic groups, and
so decentralization. So let's call it in such a way.
Okay, let's go. And the third one is to open all to make a very good system of control of all levels of power.
It was a very wide answer, you know, and I absolutely agree with you. And I just want to say that to overcome this crisis, we have to make the people understand one simple thing and ask them for one rhetorical question. On the east, on the west, on the south, in the central of Ukraine, is how their desires are different. All of us want to live in a welfare, in economic growth, in freedom, rule of law, and other things. So we shouldn't look for enemies inside our country. We should unite, and I think that this is the main message that should be sent to the society.
Yeah, Yaroslav?
I want just to add that we can cooperate in the future, and I hope that new faces, new civil society will cooperate for making our country lives very well, and finally to find a solution for the next years, how to work, how to rule, and what to do, and who to illustrate.
So, thank you very much, dear friends. I was very pleased to see you here and for your really wise answers sometimes. It was Yaroslav Kucher, the head of the youth movement of Батьківщина party. It was Victoria Zabiyan, political analyst, and it was Volodymyr Karagaur. He is a journalist of the Spilna TV channel. You are watching First Ukraine. It is a United Country Marathon. You can see our website, www.firstUA.com, on your TV screen as well. Our frequencies, it's Alexander Halubov, and I'm very thankful for your attention.